We're super excited. So anybody that's never attended one of these calls before, we hold these deal help calls every single week, and they are really here for you. They're here to serve you, to talk about deals you are working. We have our local expert here, Brandon, to provide support, to piggyback ideas off of, for him to provide maybe some outside perspective. But this is a joint effort. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, questions that you think would be helpful for the rest of the group, please feel free to share. We're all in this together and want to support each other. So I know we had a few submissions beforehand. Let me go ahead and pull those up to see if we have anybody on here. I might need to send out another blast real quick for the link to make sure that everybody's able to join. So, okay, Sean Forrest. Hey, Sean, I'm going to promote you to a panelist if we could start with you. Thanks for submitting beforehand. I know you had a couple questions. Basically, I'll just turn the time over to you. Feel free to ask Brandon what you're at, and we'd love to get some conversation going. So I'm just going to kind of turn the time over to you.
Sean.
If you are talking, you just got to make sure you unmute yourself real fast. And if you aren't talking, then that's fine too, I guess.
Oh, there I go.
There we go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So I had a lead come through late yesterday afternoon. 2-bed, 1-bath, a little over 800 square feet here in Norfolk, Virginia. Ran some comps and came out to about 150. Reached out, and her immediate response was that it is a demo property. So been poking and prodding all day today, trying to get more information. Was willing to go seek the property and walk it with her. She is not allowing me in the property. She said it's too much of a mess. They have to be out by January 1. And according to her, the reason why it is...
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. You said it's a tear down, but there's people living there?
Correct.
Okay.
Due to moisture intrusion, according to her. I live about 25 minutes away and always in that area, so was willing to go do a general assessment. She claims she has multiple offers in hand, with one of them being $95K from a builder who is ready to knock it down and start building. I pulled some records from the MLS, and land value of 2021 was $45K. So if I want to give her just a hard, I guess, offer, something that's reasonable, I would honestly probably hold on to that property, but there's no way I'm even touching $95K on something that she claims as a knockdown.
Now, you said you walked the property, or you just went over there?
No, I rode by. She didn't even know I rode by, but she's not letting me in the house.
Okay.
0.11 acre.
Did she receive insurance on the property?
Yes.
So that's why it's a knockdown, because she already got paid out?
I have no idea. She just keeps saying moisture intrusion.
I mean, but before you buy it, she's going to let you inspect it though, right?
I am not under that impression. She keeps saying she has multiple offers in hand, with one of them being a builder at $95K. The house is a mess.
And what is the builder hoping to do with it then? Do you know? Or
according to her, it's going to be a knockdown and he's going to start building. But $95K, I mean, basically what you're paying for is 0.11 acre. It's not the greatest section. It's right across from the airport. Going to build a much
bigger home than what's there already then.
Yeah, but the cap on that neighborhood price point, I mean, you're looking at 180. And with the price of new construction, I just don't see how 95 is feasible.
So it seems like she may have got, to me, I'm trying to read between the lines. It's hard unless she comes out and tells you this, but like if there's black mold, I don't know why anyone would still be living there.
Exactly. Yeah. And to be honest with you, it may not even need to be knocked down.
That's what I'm wondering. Maybe that's less, um, so the highest offer she has is 95.
According to her.
Okay, so I have an idea, but I usually don't tell people to do this. And because anytime I go into contract, my goal is to go ahead and move forward and close on it, right?
Mhm.
But I always have inspection contingencies on my contracts. And I always have contingencies in case I need to bail or cancel or for whatever reason, right? So
Mhm.
I would actually be okay with you offering, say, $100,000 to get something locked in with her with an inspection period on there, meaning like you have to have the right to walk the property. Because
Okay.
you may be able to bring in a contractor and they're like, dude, like it's just a couple pieces of drywall and we can remediate that after the tenants get out.
Right.
And maybe you can get it all done for a couple $1,000 or maybe up to 10 grand. And then, it's not the end of the world. Right. And you can always go back and, renegotiate if you need to, if it's really bad, or you either renegotiate or you bail. But also the one thing that is going to be important here is this is a situation where, for me, the way that I do business is I want to have a right for me or one of my buyers to be able to walk the property, end of story, period. If they're not willing to play ball, then I don't know. She's saying it's a tear down. And so like, it's going to cost how much to tear it down, how much to haul away all of the junk that got torn down.
Right.
And then how much for the permits and how much to rebuild. And then how do you
that's why I don't see that 95 number for this builder, especially in that neighborhood, because when you look at the cost of demo, hauling it away, and then building new construction in this market, I mean, you're going to have to put a 300 price tag on the back end, and that neighborhood just doesn't call for that.
Have you ever played poker before?
Yes.
So whenever someone raises the bet, right, you have the choice to either, bring your bet up to the same amount and call that bet, right, or to just fold and be out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now you have the chance to either raise your offer or bail. Part of me wants to see her cards. Part of me wants to see what's really going on, because I think that I can raise the bet, get it under contract, go and walk the property, and I can still cancel if I want to or whatnot. The other thing too is you got to understand that in order to be in the game is one lead, one deal is not going to make or break you. That's
right.
why it's important to have, multiple leads, multiple offers and stuff like that. So, if you do fold and walk away, you didn't lose anything.
Yeah, I definitely need to put my eyes on the property, because the outside doesn't look all that bad. I mean, of all the houses I've been in from the outside, yeah, it's probably a hoarding situation, but that's not that big of a deal.
I love those situations. Those are some of my most lucrative, most profitable deals.
Right.
And so is this in your hometown or near where you live?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia Beach, and it's 20 minutes door to door.
Okay.
I rode by first thing this morning. As soon as I'm a full-time physical therapist for home health, so I am in and out of homes all day. And it just so happened that her house was right around the corner from my first patient. So as soon as our text messages started to kind of go active, I rode by. And then 15 minutes later, I said, please let me know date and time that I can just do a quick walkthrough of the property. And she said she's not allowing that because it's a huge mess.
A huge mess. So to me, I just get all giddy and excited inside when I hear that. And usually what it is I have to tell people, hey, I've been in some of the craziest scenarios. I've been in drug homes. I've been in brothels. I've been in hoarder homes. I've been in animal hoarder homes, where they have kennels stacked to the ceiling with animals inside. I go, so, I'm sure that it's probably not how you live, and I'm not going to judge you for that, but I would love to get my eyeballs on the property and check. I'm looking for the main stuff, the bones of it, so.
Okay. So should I just give her the ultimatum? Hey, if I can't get in to look at the property, this just isn't going to work for both parties.
Well, if you're she's trying to say it's a tear down. And what I would say is like, I've been in scenarios like that where they're not all tear downs. Why? I'm curious, why do you say it's a tear down?
Okay.
And dig a little deeper. And part of it is, I think she's holding her cards really close to her. She doesn't want to tell you everything that's going on. Maybe it's a family member that's a hoarder. Maybe it's a mom or a dad or a sibling or a kid or something that's related to them. So what happens is people get very embarrassed, and they don't want anyone in there. So they're just willing to sell it as is, and they feel like it's a good price. If I do that though, I still want to have an inspection period. And I'll even tell them, hey, look, you don't even have to talk to the people. I can go over there and introduce myself, let them know what's going on if you feel better like that. Like I give them a couple of different scenarios because I don't know what's going on with her and what her reluctancy is. But I would probably get it locked up with an inspection contingency.
Okay. That sounds great. I appreciate that feedback. I wasn't even going to touch that 95K.
Yeah, and if she says no, then just move on. That's fine. What you'll find is a lot of times if you follow up with them in a few weeks, maybe that's something's bailed on them.
Right. Yeah. All right. I definitely appreciate that. That's great feedback.
You got it. Good luck, Sean.
Thanks.
Sweet. Keep us posted, Sean. So Art, hey, you had submitted beforehand. One of our new close selling academy students. Thanks for being on here. I'm going to turn the time over to you to ask a few of your questions. I know you had questions about kind of inspecting the home and stuff like that. So if you just want to make sure to unmute yourself and ask away.
Yeah, I have a question concerning various types of inspections. In terms of roofing, what kind of issues should a person be looking for outside of maybe a wavy roof or missing shingles or a leaky water coming in through the roof? And then the plumbing, what are issues are typical with the plumbing? And then with the foundation, besides seeing cracks on the walls and doors not closing, what other additional issues should I be looking for? And then what?
You doing remodels on all these, Art?
No, I'm not doing any remodels. I'm just trying to do enough due diligence so that when I present my package to my buyers, they see that I have done some work on it, and they would be more likely to take a look at it.
So I think you're overthinking it a little bit. So let me tell you what I typically do. So I try to negotiate. And by the way, I do this virtually. We just I had a referral deal brought to me. It's a guy from Canada. He mainly markets for land, but he happened to have a deal, and it was in Tampa Bay. He reached out to me. We found a potential buyer, and all he had was a bunch of pictures. Right, he had a bunch of pictures. I never been to the property. I never inspected the inside. I never been on the roof. I never flushed the toilets, checked the plumbing, any of that stuff.
Okay.
I took the picture, sent it over, had someone that showed some interest. They wanted to go by and see the property. They give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down after they walk the property. So basically, you just want to get pictures of the property. And off the pictures, you can kind of decide if it's a major rehab, if it just needs some, updates, needs some updating and some work, or if it's like move-in ready, right? So
okay,
don't get too overwhelmed on, you don't need to go and get, a home inspector or, understand how to do the home inspection yourself. All you're doing, think of it like, trying to think of an easy way to think of this. You're basically taking orders and you're filling orders.
okay.
the person you're taking orders from is your cash buyers. They're trying to let you know what they're looking for.
Mhm.
And then you're trying to see if they have something that will fit.
Okay.
And what I found out too is a lot of times when I get very stuck on the repairs and the renovations, and I'm like, oh man, this is $40,000, right?
Mhm.
Well, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. There's people that have their own crews. There's guys that are handyman that can do it a lot cheaper. There's people that are landlords that maybe have a couple vendors that they use that can do it cheaper than what I'm estimating. So
Mhm.
what happens too is I'm thinking it's a full-blown fix and flip $80,000 remodel, right?
Mhm.
But I end up selling it to a landlord that puts $5,000 into it for paint and carpet and puts a for rent sign out in the front yard.
Okay. So, but how do you estimate your
Whenever I'm estimating my repairs, I'm basically just kind of getting a ballpark of around, if it's move-in ready and not a lot to it, maybe it's $10 a square foot. I usually start around $15 to $20 a square foot. So for example, let's say it's a $20 a square foot rehab. If it's 1,000 square feet house, it's $20,000 estimated on the rehab.
okay.
Okay. And in the closed sailing academy that we just opened up, as Art's just signed up for, and we got other people that are coming into it. What we're doing, we're just working with wholesalers that already have the deal locked up. They already have the contract with the seller. They already have the pictures. All we're doing is reaching out to buyers and saying, hey, I got something you may want. So.
Okay. All right.
Does that help?
That does help. As a matter of fact, it's kind of opened up my eyes to something else I need to begin to do. I need to speak with you guys about finding buyers for this particular property that I have with another wholesaler.
Perfect. In fact, I wanted to take a minute during this call and show everyone one of the things that I think that can help a lot of people.
Mhm.
So whenever it comes to finding buyers, there's basically 5 types of buyers. One is fix and flip buyers. 2 is the landlord buyers. 3 is realtors, because they have clients that are landlords and fix and flippers. 4 is hedge fund buyers. They're buying probably the top price right now. And those are most of the wholesalers around town are selling a lot to those hedge fund buyers right now, institutional buyers. The 5th is other wholesalers. So what I want to do is just kind of take a minute, if it's okay with Brian, and just show you guys one little trick that I found this week that can help you find hedge fund type buyers. Would that be okay, Art?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, now what city is this deal in?
It's in Houston, Texas.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
As a matter of fact, the call that you made on our first meeting last week, that's the house.
All right. Yeah, he was like, hey, why don't you call me back? So I wanted you to. All right, so let me go ahead and show you on PropStream one of the things that we use. Let me share my screen real quick. And we'll spend some time in the academy on this as well, but just for this call, I think it's pertinent as well. So I go into Houston, Texas, right?
Okay.
Now I'm going to go to non-owner occupied. Okay, and then I'm going to go to ownership info. I'm going to click on corporations.
Okay.
Who do you think that is? What type of buyer do you think that is? Are they mom and pop, like grandma next door?
No, they're commercial buyers.
They're investors. Yeah, they're commercial buyers. They could be flippers, they could be landlords, they could be hedge funds. So typically what I do here is I do that, and then I will go and write down here on number of properties owned. I'm going to put it 10 as a minimum.
Okay.
We can do 5, we can do 2, but the reason why I did 10 is I kind of like this because I think you're going to like the results here. So now, oh wait, filtered, did it not save? Ownership info and 10 right there. Okay. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Let me do one other thing. Let's do cash. It's not like cash buyers.
Okay.
Cash buyers, oh, wow, okay. Let's go back and do single family homes too. I want to kind of narrow this down a little bit.
Mhm.
And let's say that they've owned the house for, let's say 2 years.
Okay.
Now it should narrow down. Now I got 8232. So I'm going to click on this first one right here. This is the company name, right? And then right here where it says link properties.
Mhm.
Check this out. How many properties do they have?
Oh, wow. 52 properties.
Yeah, their total value of their portfolio is over $4 million.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's click on another one because I like to have fun. And do the same thing here. Here's a different LLC. Let's go link
Mhm.
property. Do you think they have a few properties?
Whoa, my goodness. That's quite a number of properties.
Now, I don't want you to overthink this. So we can do a couple things. Is one, we can go to the mailing address and try to figure out who this is. We can grab that LLC and look them up on Google or Open
Mhm.
Corporates. Or we just go right here to MLS details and say, hey, Dan, you know the folks that bought this property on Beechnut Street? Do you know if they're looking for any more properties?
Good idea. That makes sense.
How's that help, Art?
That's tremendous. That is fabulous.
We're just connecting people, right? We're just connecting people, whether it's a seller connecting with a cash buyer or whether we're helping wholesalers that already have a deal locked up to that cash buyer.
Okay.
So that's just one of the tricks that we show people in our close selling academy, how to find cash buyers.
Mhm.
Very few people even know what we just did. Very few people even know how to do that.
Wow. That gives us a heads up, an
Big time.
advantage.
Yep. Cool. Well, hopefully that was helpful for you. Art, did you have any other questions?
No, sir. You've answered all of them, even the ones I didn't even ask.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to having you on the call tomorrow. That'll be
I'll
great.
be there. I will be
Awesome.
there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brandon. Hey,
Yeah.
I know Kendra, you had a question as well, and then we have a few questions in the Q&A from Alfred and Rachel Rochelle.
Let's do it.
I hadn't submitted anything early, so I don't mind waiting until everyone's already gone.
Oh, you're good. We've gone through all the submissions. You were the first person to raise your hand, so you're up next.
Okay. Awesome. Well, the properties that I have under contract were the ones I was kind of asking about last week, and I guess my question is, I've tried all the stuff that we said, including contacting that one that Brendan so kindly found for me, and I haven't been able to find, any interest. And I wonder if that's just that, like, does that mean the properties are no good, or I'm asking too much?
Did you ask any of the people you talked to at what price would make sense to you?
I didn't. I guess that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I would try to get that feedback, and also if you have, say you already have a buyer's list, if you already have one built up and you have a text message list, an email list, you can also send or blast that property out without a price on it, and say something like open to all offers.
Well, okay, so that's a good idea, because then if they're offering even more than you're kind of asking, that would be great.
Yeah, but then if everyone's coming in and let's say that you're marketing at 160 and everyone's saying 145, 145, 145,
Then you're
negotiate it.
So I feel like I did things backwards then, because you guys are like, I don't have a buyer's list, like, at all. I've got whatever Amplify included in the, when you pay for your CRM info, what I mean. And I've tried calling some of them, and I haven't really gotten any luck with that either. So I feel like I kind of went backwards. I should have had a buyer's list before I even put houses under contract, because now I've got 3 houses under contract and no buyers, because I don't have even a list.
No,
So I've just been
fine. You're fine. What city are these deals in?
Reedyville and Anniston, Alabama is a new one I just picked up.
Okay, what's a big city near one of those?
Reedyville is by Nashville, and Anniston, I don't know. Let me look at it. I'm gonna guess Birmingham because Anniston, yeah, Birmingham. It's about probably 30, 40 minutes from
Okay.
Birmingham.
So here's while I did right now, can you see my screen?
I can.
What I type in?
Nashville, Tennessee cash buyers. But isn't that more like what we do?
Yes.
Those ads?
But let me ask you a question. How many
Mhm.
cash buyers are on your list?
Well, technically like 100 something, but they're all over Tennessee and Alabama, and it doesn't say which state. I have to call them and find out.
Now let's check this out real quick. I'm gonna call this one right here that I see. I don't even know who they are. I don't know if they're gonna answer. But I want to try something real quick.
Okay.
So they didn't answer. I'm gonna find
Bummer.
someone real quick. Nashville home buyers. I want to find a phone number on here real quick.
New Horizon.
If this doesn't work, I want to go back up here to custom cactus home offer.
What about the Nashville? Oh,
Hello, who is this?
This is Eric.
Eric. Hey, this is Brandon. You guys are buying properties all over like near the Nashville area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a scenario. I don't know if you can help me or not. We have a property that we locked up that we're thinking about wholesaling. We've been wholesaling out to a couple of people. Honestly, we just have a few buyers in the area. And I don't know if you guys have a big buyers list or not.
I actually don't.
Okay.
So we split and buy and hold.
Okay.
And I actually
Got it.
on a wholesale.
You guys don't buy anything in Lettyville, I think it is.
Readyville.
I don't even know where that is.
Okay. No worries. Who's a wholesaler? Who's it that you can connect me with that can help me out maybe?
To be honest, we just started in the Nashville market like a few months ago, so I'm not real connected with other wholesalers. I believe there as well. Wholesaler who actually has a buyer's list there, but I'm still working on that.
No problem. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. All right. Bye. All right. The other thing is going to do real estate association. So now remember I said there's 5 types of buyers, right? The fix and flip buyers, the landlord buyers, the realtors, okay, hedge fund buyers, and other wholesalers. Okay. Now, what I want to do here is I'm looking for, I don't want real estate. I want a real estate investor association, REIA. Tennessee REIA right here. You see this? So
Okay.
now
Oh,
I'm going to go to membership. Let's see, membership forms, membership directory. Okay, I may have to join this to get it. But I can also do TNREIA. So let me show you what I'm gonna do here. Go to Facebook, TNREIA.
This is brilliant.
Okay, Tennessee Real Estate Investor Association right here. And now I'm going to see if there's a contact on here. There's a phone number right there. 615. Now I don't have cash buyers. Do you think they may?
Oh yeah. I hope.
Yeah.
So just like this would be to find a JV situation. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe
Okay.
like, hey, you know, maybe they're telling me, hey, you're overpriced in that area. You need to be $20,000 lower or whatever it is, right? So let's see what they say.
Right.
No one's going to answer.
Your call has been forwarded.
But if you notice here, I can join this. I can see if there's a Facebook group for this too. Right. So I can do, let me type in group. That's just a page, right? So Investor Association page.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's another one right here, public group. So I would join this group, right? And a lot of times they'll allow you to post properties in here. And then not only that,
Okay.
I'm also like anyone that says like, hey, I got a property for sale, right? And then people will throw their emails in here or
You
phone
can just
numbers. You
snap
just
'em
start
up.
collecting those emails. Yep.
Smart. Okay.
Work smarter, not harder, right?
Yep.
And
Truly,
we go
truly.
over a lot of this. We go over a lot of this too in our close sailing classes we just started too. So
That was going to be before you, but that was my very last question. I saw that on a couple of your videos, and I've heard you mention it now twice in the sales meetings. But I don't even know what that is. Is this a separate academy from Amplify where you join up?
yeah, it's all mentorship and coaching. So this is just Q&A. This is just
Mhm.
this is just something that we do every single week for all the Amplify clients.
Mhm.
And so just answering questions, helping with deals. But in the class that we do on Thursdays, it's more of a curriculum base. So we kind of have some basics. So we kind of start people out on how to find deals. It's more like the joint venture co-wholesaling, how to find deals with other wholesalers and help find buyers for those deals.
Where can I find more information on getting involved with that potentially?
I will have Bryant, if
Yeah,
you want to.
Kendra, I'll make sure your account manager reaches out to you, and we'll send over some more information for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, I would want to. I love that. Thank you.
Great. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Kendra. And if anybody else is ever interested in learning more about that, feel free to reach out to your account manager or send me a message or email. We'd be happy to answer any questions. So yeah, it's very exciting. So Art is one of our Close Sailing Academy students, and we have a few other members on here that are part of the Academy. So very exciting times. All right, so we're gonna go, Chris, we'll go to you next, actually real quick, and then we'll go to the Q&A.
Awesome.
So Chris, I'll turn the time over to you.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Brian. And thank you very much, Brandon, for everything you're doing here. This is great. I mean, I've only had a chance to listen and get involved a couple of times on these Q&As, and they're wonderful. I'm kind of new with Amplify My Business, been at it about 3 weeks now, but what's been happening to me is I'll go look at a property that are motivated sellers, they want to sell. I'll go through and analyze the whole deal, the rehab and everything. I come back and make an offer, which is about a 65 to 70% discount of ARV, and they're offended, they're pissed off. And I'm like, what? Like a lady yesterday, I came in and I said, I could give you 205. And she goes, I know these houses are selling for over 300. They one down the street just sold for 340. And I go through and explain the costs associated with selling it through a realtor, or the house that fixed up and this isn't. And still she's not having any of it. So my question was, how can I still salvage these people? They want to sell, and I could get these under contract, but I can't do anything with them. Now, having said that, after listening to what you just went through, I kind of got some ideas, but if you could just elaborate a little bit more on
on this seller's situation, is she using the proceeds for anything right away?
She wants to buy another house that she can move into. She's behind on a mortgage, but she's not in foreclosure. She owes $100,000 still.
Okay, she owes 100,000. And what type of equity does she have in the property?
The property itself, the property, I mean, ARV is like 240.
240.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, 340. 340. It's 340. I came in at 205, or was my purchase price for her. Repair costs, I expected that or anticipated around 39,000.
Okay, and she owes 100. Does she
Yeah.
already have a house picked out?
No, she doesn't. I even printed out some houses that she could buy with the money that she was going to have. I found some in the $80,000 range that she could move to, just to be a little more prepared.
What market is this in?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Why is she behind on payments?
I didn't get into it too much. She really was kind of hesitant. She didn't want to really get into personal information. I could tell. She didn't want me to take pictures of the house. She was ready to talk to a realtor. She had a realtor come in the next day, or actually that day. When I saw the property, she got a realtor coming the next day. So I put together my package for that night and got out there the next morning at 10:30.
Gotcha. So there's one of the things, if they're open to terms, I can buy it on creative financing. I can keep the loan in place. I can wrap that existing loan. I can give her some money to move. It's typically not going to be big down payment money for a house, you know. And to be very frank, do you think she's going to qualify for a house being behind on payments?
I doubt it. She needs the equity from this. That's why she's looking to get 300 or so out of this, pay off her 100,000, take that 200 grand and go buy something with cash.
So what I would say is, do you know what the payments are?
Yeah.
Okay, I try to find out what the payments are. I try to find out what the rent is in that area. And I want to be able to see if I can, if I take over the payments and give her some money, can I cash flow on this property at all? And then what I do is I try to say it, okay, now, if I can take over your payments, give you the full price of what you want for the property, would you be okay if I made payments on this for the next couple, 24 to 36 months? Typically, I do 36 to 60 months or more. I usually start out saying that we do 10 to 15 years. We can do a little bit less. What did you have in mind? And then have them tell me, because she's not going to qualify for a house right now. I can tell you, I used to be an underwriter for Wells Fargo. She's behind on payment. They're not going to give her another loan.
Yeah.
So she's going to either have to get cash out and buy it cash, or she's going to have to go rent something. And so what I would say is, like, what if I help you get moved into a new place? I give you some first month's rent, security deposit, moving money. And then if you work with me, I will help you get connected to a credit repair company. And not only that, is in the next 36 months, I will go ahead and have this all paid off or refinance. So that way you can have a big lump sum and you get your full price that you're asking, right? No real estate commissions. I'll take care of the closing costs. And then you're in 24 to 36 months, you're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, just kind of a longer hold than I wanted to get into, and a longer process.
So you're wanting to flip it real quick.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, what if I did something similar to what you were just talking to Kendra about, and find out what her bottom line price is? If she'll take 280 or 300, should I try and get her under contract for that and then go and shop it?
Is she open to people? Is she going to list the property? She's talking about
she was planning to. She's planning to list it.
Are you a realtor?
No, my wife is though.
Okay.
But she already got a realtor, because that was my first thought. Like, hey, I've got a great realtor. I could show that'll sell your property, and I get my wife over there. But she already had somebody that she was planning to work with. It sounded like a friend or family.
Yeah. So there's another strategy. One of my good friends and Brighton, I'm gonna have to connect you with Corey Geary. So Corey Geary is one of my friends, and he's using a strategy now called novations. Have you ever heard of a novation agreement?
No.
So you ever have a client where one spouse may be overseas or unavailable and they have to have a power of attorney to sign paperwork?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so imagine that, where you can have someone else have power of attorney to list the property, sign the papers, and close on the deal, right? So you do something similar to that. It's just like Corey Geary talks about as it's his concierge service, right? So he does a novation agreement, finds out what the net price is the seller is willing to get, and then say, okay, now here's the deal. We can do this, and here's how we're going to do this. We're going to reach out to my list of investors and buyers who are looking for stuff like this. We will probably even test it out on the MLS and be able to get you the price you want, and that'll be your net price. You don't have to worry about closing costs or commissions or anything like that. This is our concierge service. We really take care of you and help you out with all this. And so then you go out and you list the property, right? With that novation agreement, you have the right to go list the property. It's called an attorney in fact paperwork instead of a power of attorney. So it's a little less daunting. And then what happens is now you have a contract to buy that property at that, you have a purchase contract with that novation agreement to buy the property at her net price. If you sell it at a higher price, now what happens is whenever it goes to close, they still sign all the closing paperwork with the title company. You have a lien on the property for the difference between what the buyer's buying it at and what your price is with the seller. So say it's like $23,000 or something, right? So now you release that lien for $23,000. She gets her price of say she's trying to make 180 on it. So she gets sold at 180. She's happy. You get your 23, you're happy, and the buyer's happy because they got a deal too on the property.
So novation agreement.
And-
Where do I learn
Yeah.
more about that?
Well, actually, Brandon, if you remember, Corey did a webinar for us and a workshop for us back in August.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I linked the video, Chris, in the chat.
Awesome.
So you can go ahead and grab the link
Yeah.
there.
This
And-
is gold, and this is perfect for what you're looking at to do right now.
All right.
Yeah, and if you need further information, Corey is one of our elite partners actually here at Amplify, and I'd be more than happy to connect you with him.
Fantastic. Right on.
And to give you an idea, think about it. I don't know if you're familiar with what's called a net listing. Back in the day, they used to do quite a bit of that, where the realtors would find out what the seller wanted to list the property for, what they wanted to net on it. And then whatever the real estate agent could sell it for above that was their commission.
Okay.
So now we're just doing a little bit differently, where now we just have, you have an equitable interest in the property because you have a contract. And you put a lien on the property, you basically attach that and you release the lien at close for the difference between the buy price and the price with the seller,
All right.
minus the closing cost, whatever that amount.
No,
was.
I would have to just sell it to like another wholesale buyer or a hedge fund or
No, it's
something.
a
I
retail
couldn't-
buyer. It's a retail buyer.
Oh, it's a
on
retail
them.
buyer. Okay, but not through a realtor because I wouldn't be able to pay realtor commissions, right?
So there's something called, there's all these flat fee lists. You can have your wife listed.
For a flat fee.
Yeah, for a flat fee.
Okay,
And-
but how about the buying?
There's a lot.
buying?
There's a
The
lot
buying
of,
broker.
there's
the
a
buying
lot of flat fee listing companies for like $100, $500, right?
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. But how about the buying agent that comes in representing the buyer? Aren't they gonna want their 3%?
Yeah, they get paid a commission on it too.
Okay,
A lot of times you're not doing full commission. A lot of times you're doing like 2 or 2.5%, something like that to the buyer's agent.
okay. But I'm gonna have to figure that into all the costs, right?
Is that your wife behind you listening in on
Yeah.
us?
Yes,
I got her attention, didn't I?
you did.
So now just to kind of give you an idea. So Corey Geary is one of my good friends. His office is literally, by the way, he's in Florida right now.
Oh,
I think he's in your city. I think he's in Fort Lauderdale or Miami right now.
no kidding.
No kidding. He's out there for a mastermind right now. But to kind of give you an idea, he's done the nationwide wholesaling, right? He gets a lot of leads through Amplify as well. He does nationwide pay-per-click and everything else too. So he's really does a lot of marketing nationwide. And he does this novation strategy first before wholesaling, before creative. Because now they got it down to such a pitch. It's like, hey, let us just get you your price. It's a concierge service. You don't have to worry about it. We'll get the pictures taken care of. We'll schedule the showings. We'll even get the listing. You don't have to worry about anything basically until it's time to close.
But we would still have to get them to agree to let us show the property and that sort of thing, right?
And but here's the deal: is whenever you're doing that, right, you're letting the realtor know now who's paying the commission. You're in charge of their commission,
Okay.
right? You're in charge of their commission. So look, here's the situation. This is a little delicate situation. You need to make sure that we show the property. We can't linger for 3 hours. You can't go through their underwear drawer. You can't, whatever it is, right? It's nice if you have if you do this locally, you have your own agents that can help you, or your license, you can do this stuff. But the novation stuff, Corey's doing nationwide.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that video out then.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Cool. Right
Super
on. Thank you so
exciting.
much, Brandon. Appreciate it.
you got it. Hope it's
Keep us
helpful.
posted, Chris. Keep us posted.
For sure I
For
will.
sure. Great. Sharice, you said you can't see the link. Okay, I'll make sure you get it. Okay, hey, let's go quick through a few more questions. So Alfred had a question. You can see it there, Brandon, in the Q&A, or you should be able to. If you can't, that's fine. But he was asking earlier this week or last week about mobile homes. And if you have any experience in wholesaling them and determining the price and stuff like that. I know we've talked about that a few times on these calls, but it would still be a good refresher.
So if it's on land, I prefer to deal with mobile homes on land. If they own the land, then and you want to make sure they're affixed. It's just like dealing with other houses a lot of times. If it's not affixed and it's just a mobile home in a park, it's like buying a truck, a pickup truck or a minivan. So it's a little bit different. And so it goes through the DMV a lot of times. And if you do too many of those, they want you to have a dealer's license, just like you would sell cars and stuff like that. But typically mobile homes on land, no big issue. You can comp those on PropStream, on Redfin, just like you would a house. You just make sure you compare a mobile home to a mobile home is all. So. Okay. Oh, I see the Q&A. It's different than the chat. My bad. So.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
We answered that. If you have any more context there, Alfred, let us know. But yeah, it really just comes down to the fact that they have to actually own the land. If they own the land, you can treat it as a regular deal. If not, most of the time we just say stay away from it, to be honest with you. But there's still opportunities there. There's still opportunities there.
What's interesting is I have a friend that's out here in Arizona and he buys mobiles and he literally drives around mobile home parks where they don't own the land. And he literally is carrying like $25,000 cash in a backpack. And so all he does, he finds a seller, wants to sell a mobile home, has them sign over the title, gives them $5 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is that they decide on. And now he owns a mobile home.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Cool. Rochelle or Rachel, I'm sorry if I ever say your name wrong. But she had a question. Hey, we have 2 homes we're going to see this Friday. Any advice on just going to check out the properties, and one of them is a multifamily.
So typically what I do, if I'm going in person, I like to arrive at least 15 minutes early. I try to go into the neighborhood early and drive the neighborhood and look at my comparable properties that I'm using as comparables for my meeting. I want to see what the high end comparables are and what my low comp comparables are. And I want to make sure that I have 3 printed out low comps that I can give to the seller at my appointment so they can see that, hey, this is a real comp in the last 6 months that has sold within 10% of the square footage, and this is a valid comp. So I kind of use that to kind of set my anchors low. And then when I'm at the appointment, I make sure I have some other stuff with me in the manila folder. Have a couple contracts. I have an authorization form if I need that for the title for like a payoff. And I also have something else with me called a property repair sheet. If I don't have a property repair sheet, I have some sort of notepad or something like that. I like the property repair sheet and I like using a red Sharpie marker. and I'll go through and I'm walking through the house, have them tell me stuff about the house, show me, I try to get them to show me about it, show me the house. And then I'll write in big numbers like new bathroom, $6,000, new kitchen cabinets, new flooring, and put a price there really big so they can see that, right? So now they're looking over my shoulder like, what is he writing down? Oh my gosh, the kitchen's going to be $30,000 for the kitchen. Oh my goodness. And then they're adding this up in their head before we even sit down. So now I sit down and I said, so, you understand the area and stuff, what's going on. Now I start talking about the price, right? And start to find out why they're selling, what their motivation is. I found out the condition of the property, I try to find out the time frame, how soon they want to sell, and the why behind it all. And then when it gets down to the price, I'm negotiating. And when I start to negotiating, I want them to give me the number first. And you should get that number before you ever go on an appointment. You should never just go on an appointment unless you have a number out of the seller first. And it needs to make sense. And then you can go on that appointment. We're doing this virtually now. We used to go on appointments all the time. And then I sit down and I show them the 3 low comps and I kind of let that sink in. And I have that adjustment there. Do you agree with these low comps? I get the buy-in from the seller on those low comps. And then I move forward on the estimated repairs and renovations. And usually the number is such a higher number that my cash offers at a price. Now I have a justified offer. I have low comps. I have estimated repairs. My number's justified. They either say yes or no. Well, usually what happens is some sort of negotiation. Maybe I put like $45,000, $50,000 in repairs and renovations. And say, well, maybe I can squeeze by on this. Maybe I can do that and negotiate some of that repair cost off of that and come up with a number that works for them and works for me. And we both walk away happy. So, but while I'm at the appointment, I'm also taking pictures of the house. I have everything done. So I never have to go back to that house again in case the seller calls me back a week or 2 later, say, now I'm ready to sell. So hope that helps.
Awesome. Great tips. Great tips. One last person. I know, Iva or Eva, you had your hand raised. Are you still, I'll allow you to talk if you still had some thoughts or comments. If not, that's fine. So great. Eva is one of our awesome elite client partners here at Amplify. Let's see if she's able to still chat. If not, we'll go ahead and end the call. Okay, awesome. Eva, if you want to unmute yourself, you should be good to go.
Hello.
Okay, good. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, I was listening to the question from Sean about his property that the woman doesn't want him to go inside to be able to write the contract. I just couldn't stop and tell you guys because I normally don't go see the property unless I get the property on the contract. So what I would do on his position was just to get the property on the contract. And I like the suggestion that Brendan gave to him, get $100,000 and put there a contingency, like Brendan said, and only gonna see the property after the contract is signed. That's the way I do. So that's why I'd like to give a tip over there.
Yeah, that's great. And sometimes the seller has pictures. I try to get them to send me pictures a lot of times. And if this one, there's tenants in place. So sometimes I would say, can you reach out to the tenants, or is it okay if I reach out to the tenants and have them snap a few pictures for me? A perfect example is this saved me a lot of headaches as I was getting ready to close. I was literally going to close with private money on a property in Washington State. Turned out that the people just trashed the place. I mean, it was horrible, way worse than what we originally thought. And it basically was going to be a lot more in repairs and renovations. And I wouldn't have known unless I got pictures. And the tenant took pictures and sent them to the homeowner, because the homeowner lived in Arizona, but the tenants lived in a house in Washington State. So luckily they took the pictures, and that can save you a lot of time. So a lot of times you get the tenants or the homeowners to just take pictures for you. So,
Yeah, that's a good one too.
yeah,
Awesome. Thank you. That's what I want to say.
thanks for jumping on the call. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Brandon. Great job.
You bet.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eva. Okay, we had one more pop up last minute. Do you have time, Brandon, for one more question? Always awesome. Always over delivering. All right, so it's the person with the Galaxy S9. They typed in the Q&A, but I'll allow you to talk if you can.
Yeah.
If you want to unmute yourself, that'd be great. There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
There we go.
Hey, how you doing? It's Latavian.
Hi, Latavian.
I'm all right. I'm down here in South Florida.
Nice.
I happened to ran across a property that I seen on the MLS, and I reached out to the realtor. He gave me some information on the property. He told me that the property is priced below market value due to the property has, it's not a lien that's on the property, but it do have code violations that needs to be updated. And what happened, I guess the previous owner that had the property used it as a duplex, and so it's some kind of AC the realtor was telling me that need to be replaced, electrical panels, I guess the wires, something with the wires, I guess they have to rewire the whole house because it's in code violation with the wires. And he told me the month is the roof is pretty much like 15 years old. He said the roof was last done in 2006. And the old permit is something about 10 months old. So I was wondering what would be the best way to come at that property, or what
What are they looking to do? What are they trying to sell it for? What's it worth?
When I ran the comps, I seen different numbers. I seen where the most was 390 and the lowest was like two something. But when I when I asked the realtor, did he have any other offers? He told me, yeah, he did have other offers. And the lowest offer.
This is listed on the MLS?
Yeah.
Okay, so I typically stay away from listed properties.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying I can't get a deal, but if it is currently on the market, my rule of thumb is I take that number. What's it listed for?
300.
So I take that number, and in this case, it's 300,000.
Yeah.
And so I'll take 300,000 times 0.8. I want to do 80% of that number, which is 240,000.
Right.
Minus my wholesale fee. I want to make $20,000.
Yeah.
That means my max price I'm going to pay is 220.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought of a price of 256.
Yeah, it'd probably be around 200 to 220. So I can sell for 240.
Right.
Because that is the retail price, and it has not sold as of yet.
Oh, 240 is the retail price?
Well, no, the retail price is 300. That's what it is on the market.
Yeah.
So that is your retail price at the moment.
Oh, okay. That's with all the problems that it has right now.
I may need to subtract more off of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's typically in as is condition whenever you're talking about, or in a good condition whenever you're talking about permits and code violations and other stuff that's going to come off the price typically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I typically don't spend a lot of time on those properties that are listed. Unless like I'm looking for keywords like needs a lot of work, like code violations is a good one, but I'm going to try to make sure I'm getting it at a price that I can wholesale it for.
Right.
And I still want a long inspection period so I can cancel if I need to.
How long of an inspection period you would say?
Most realtor contracts are like 10 days. I try to go for 15 or 20,
Oh, okay.
or I'll put 10 business days, or you
Right.
know, 15 business days.
Oh, okay. Business days.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I pretty much was looking at it and I'm like, wow, if I can, even if I could get this and I could wholesale it to another investor and make a 5,000 or 8,000 profit, I mean,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be
Here's what's
bad.
gonna happen, just so you know, is say you're trying to sell it to me, right? I'm gonna type in that property, and if I have MLS access, I'm gonna say this property is listed.
Right,
What is he doing here, right? Now I know what he's doing. He has it locked up at a lower price and trying to wholesale it to me, but I could have bought it retail at this price at 300,000.
right,
So you better have a really good smoking discount for me to even, you know, come to the table.
right.
So,
Okay.
all righty.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for it, Brendan.
You bet. You bet. Thanks for jumping on the call today.
All right, no problem.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brandon. Just a quick reminder, guys, that these recordings are posted at the end of each week on Friday once the recording is processed and edited by our team. And if you're interested in being learning more about the Close Selling Academy, we just started the most recent class up again, so it's not too late to hop in there. Feel free to reach out to myself or your account manager to get more information. But we just want to say thank you, Brandon. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And I hope you have a great day. Let's close some more deals. See ya.
Awesome. Yeah.